Beamy, 28. Women's Studies professor with focus on relationship sociology. Published researcher on marriage trends and gender dynamics. Run academic blog analyzing modern relationship patterns. Constantly posting about marriage decline and male commitment phobia. Always believed men were avoiding relationships because they wanted to maintain player lifestyle. Afraid of losing freedom to sleep around. Unwilling to grow up and take responsibility. Classic Peter Pan syndrome enabled by hookup culture. Post weekly about how modern men refuse to commit to amazing women. They want all benefits of relationship without responsibilities. Fear strong independent women who won't tolerate their immaturity. Feel intellectually superior about understanding male psychology. Wednesday afternoon, department meeting about declining enrollment in family studies courses. Colleague mentions concerning trend in student demographics. Shows data revealing that male students increasingly express zero interest in marriage or long-term relationships. Not just delaying commitment but actively rejecting it entirely. Exit surveys show men viewing marriage as financial suicide and legal liability rather than partnership. Feel puzzled by such extreme anti-relationship sentiment among young men. Thursday, decide to investigate male attitudes toward relationships more systematically. Start with campus interviews asking men about their relationship goals. Responses are shocking in their consistency. Marriage is just expensive divorce waiting to happen. Why would I risk losing half my stuff for something that probably won't last? Women have all the power in relationships now, too risky. Seen too many guys get destroyed in divorce court. Rather be alone than trapped in toxic situation. These aren't shallow players, these are serious students expressing genuine fear of committed relationships. Friday, research divorce statistics and legal frameworks around marriage dissolution. Data is more stark than I realized. Women initiate 70% of divorces. Men lose primary custody 85% of time. Male suicide rates spike 300% during divorce proceedings. Average divorce costs men significantly more in assets and ongoing payments. For men, marriage has become a statistically risky proposition with limited upside protection. Weekend, interview divorced men about their experiences. Stories are universally devastating. Man who lost house, custody, and half his retirement after wife decided she wasn't happy. Another who pays alimony to woman who cheated on him. Third, who sees his kids twice monthly, despite being devoted father. All describe feeling like marriage laws are designed to transfer male resources to women regardless of fault or circumstance. Monday, examine family court data more closely. Find systematic patterns that explain male reluctance to marry. Courts award primary custody to mothers 85% of time, even when father wants shared custody. Alimony calculations assume women can't support themselves, despite equal education and career opportunities. Asset division favors women through various legal mechanisms. System appears designed when women had fewer economic options, now operates as wealth transfer mechanism from men to women. Tuesday, research what men actually lose versus gain through marriage in current legal environment. Marriage benefits for men: companionship, emotional support, potential children, social status. Marriage risks for men: loss of assets and divorce, ongoing financial obligations, limited child access, legal vulnerability, reduced autonomy. Risk-benefit analysis: increasingly unfavorable for men as divorce rates remain high and legal protections remain minimal. Wednesday, interview young women about their expectations from male partners. Compare to what men report women actually demand. Women describe wanting equality in partnership. Men describe experiencing constant criticism, financial pressure, loss of independence, and threat of relationship termination over minor issues. Disconnect between stated intentions and lived male experience of modern relationships. Thursday, research international data on marriage rates and male attitudes. Pattern emerges across developed countries. Places with most female empowerment show steepest marriage declines among men. Countries with strongest divorce laws favoring women have lowest male marriage rates. Correlation between female legal advantages and male relationship avoidance appears global. Friday, examine social media and cultural messaging around relationships. Study what young people learn about marriage and commitment. Find constant messaging encouraging women to leave relationships that aren't perfect. You deserve better, don't settle, know your worth. Combined with legal framework that rewards leaving. Men receive contradictory messages. Be committed, but accept that commitment offers no protection or guarantees. Weekend, research historical marriage patterns. Compare current dynamics to previous generations. Traditional marriage offered clear benefits to both genders: economic security for women, domestic support, and guaranteed children for men. Social contracts were mutual and enforceable. Modern marriage offers women legal and financial benefits while offering men primarily emotional benefits that can be withdrawn without cause. Monday, interview marriage counselors and relationship therapists about trends they observe. Report increasing numbers of men who refuse to marry despite being in committed relationships. Male clients express fear of legal vulnerability rather than commitment phobia. Many relationships end because women want marriage, but men consider it too risky given current legal framework. Tuesday, study what happens to men who do marry in current environment. Research outcomes and satisfaction rates. Married men report higher stress levels than single men, describe feeling financially trapped and emotionally controlled. Many express regret about legal commitment that limits their options. Contrast with previous generations where married men reported higher satisfaction than single men. Wednesday, examine the specific legal mechanisms that disadvantage men in marriage and divorce. No-fault divorce allows women to terminate marriage for any reason while maintaining financial claims. Alimony assumptions ignore women's earning capacity. Custody defaults favor mothers despite father involvement. Asset division often favors women through various calculations. Legal framework created when women had limited options now operates a systematic advantage over men who have no equivalent protections. Thursday, research male suicide and mental health statistics related to divorce and relationship dissolution. Find that relationship loss affects men more severely than women. Men more likely to lose children, housing, financial stability simultaneously. Support systems often favor women leaving relationships. For men, relationship failure often means total life destruction rather than fresh start. Friday, month into research, pattern undeniably clear about why men avoid commitment. Marriage has become systematically risky for men while offering minimal legal protections. Rational response to unfavorable risk-benefit analysis is avoidance. Weekend, examine cultural responses to male relationship avoidance. Study how society interprets men choosing singleness. Find consistent narrative blaming men for commitment phobia, immaturity, or fear of strong women. Very little acknowledgement of legitimate concerns about legal and financial risks. Men's rational response to systemic disadvantage gets reframed as personal weakness or character flaw. Monday, interview women about their perspectives on male relationship avoidance. Ask what they think motivates men to stay single. Most blame male selfishness, fear of responsibility, or desire to play field indefinitely. Very few aware of legal and financial risks that men face in marriage. Women benefit from current systems, so have little incentive to understand male perspective or advocate for changes. Tuesday, research what would need to change for men to view marriage as an attractive option again. Legal reforms around divorce, custody, and asset division. Cultural changes around relationship expectations and responsibilities. Social recognition of male contributions and needs in relationships. Essentially, return to mutual benefit rather than female advantage in relationship structure. Wednesday, examine countries that have reformed marriage laws to be more equitable. Study effects on marriage rates and male participation. Find that places with more balanced legal frameworks maintain higher marriage rates and male relationship participation. Men willing to commit when risks are reasonable and benefits are mutual. Proves that male avoidance is rational response to system rather than inherent character flaw. Thursday, research alternative relationship structures that men are choosing instead of marriage. Long-term relationships without legal marriage. International relationships with women from cultures that view marriage differently. Focus on career and personal fulfillment over romantic partnership. Men adapting to hostile legal environment by finding alternatives rather than accepting unfavorable terms. Friday, 6 weeks into research. Ready to acknowledge uncomfortable truth about male relationship avoidance. Men aren't afraid of commitment or strong women. They're making rational decisions to avoid legal and financial arrangements that systematically disadvantage them. Weekend, examine feminist role in creating current relationship dynamics. Study how women's rights movements affected marriage law and culture. Find that feminist advocacy successfully changed laws to benefit women, but didn't consider effects on male incentives to participate in marriage. movement focused on women's interests without maintaining mutual benefit that makes relationships sustainable. Monday, research what successful relationship cultures have in common across different societies and time periods. All involve mutual benefit and balanced obligations. Both partners gain advantages and accept responsibilities. Neither gender systematically advantaged over other in relationship dissolution. Current Western marriage offers women advantages while imposing risks on men, creating unsustainable dynamic. Tuesday, interview older married couples about what made their relationships work across decades. Find that successful marriages involved clear mutual benefit. Women gained security, men gained support and family. Both sides honored commitments even during difficult periods. Modern relationships lack binding nature and mutual obligation that created stability. Wednesday, examine economic data on single men versus married men. Study financial outcomes and lifestyle differences. Find that single men often have higher disposable income, more career flexibility, and less financial stress than married men. Economic incentives now favor remaining single for men. Contrast with previous eras when marriage provided economic benefits for both genders. Thursday, research what women could do to make relationships more appealing to men. Study successful relationship recruitment strategies. Find that relationships work when women offer clear value proposition, emotional support, domestic contribution, financial partnership, and loyalty. Problem arises when women expect these benefits while offering primarily sexual and emotional labor. Men need to see concrete advantages to offset legal and financial risks of commitment. Friday, 2 months into research. Comprehensive understanding of why men choose permanent singleness. Marriage became systematically risky for men through legal changes that favor women. Rational response is avoidance rather than acceptance of unfavorable terms. Men are broken or immature. They're responding logically to incentive structure that punishes male commitment while rewarding female departure. Weekend, examine potential solutions that could restore male interest in relationships and marriage. Legal reforms to create more balanced divorce and custody outcomes. Cultural changes to value male contributions in relationships. Social recognition that sustainable partnerships require mutual benefit. Without these changes, male relationship avoidance will likely continue increasing. Monday, write preliminary paper on findings. Title: The Rational Bachelor: Why Modern Men Choose Permanent Singleness. Argue that male relationship avoidance represents logical response to systematically unfavorable risk-benefit analysis rather than personal inadequacy. Tuesday, present findings to Gender Studies Department. Reception is hostile and defensive. Colleagues argue that focusing on male concerns undermines women's progress. Suggest that men should accept relationship risks as compensation for historical male privilege. Feel frustrated by ideological response to empirical research. Wednesday, research long-term societal effects of mass male relationship avoidance. Study demographic and economic implications. Find declining birth rates, increasing elderly care burden, reduced family formation, and social instability in societies where men opt out of relationships en masse. Problem affects everyone, not just individuals choosing singleness. Thursday, interview young women about dating market changes they've observed. Ask about male behavior and availability. Many report difficulty finding men interested in serious relationships. Describe men who avoid commitment discussions or end relationships when marriage mentioned. Women experiencing effects of male relationship avoidance but don't understand underlying causes. Friday, 3 months after beginning research. Ready to publish findings about male relationship trends. Men increasingly choose permanent singleness because marriage offers them minimal benefits while imposing maximum risks under current legal and cultural framework. This represents rational adaptation to hostile environment rather than personal failure or immaturity. Weekend. Final reflection on research journey and implications. Started believing men avoided relationships due to commitment phobia or selfishness. Discovered they're making logical decisions based on unfavorable cost-benefit analysis. Solution requires acknowledging male concerns and creating more balanced relationship incentives. Monday, 6 months later. Continue advocating for relationship structures that benefit both genders rather than systematically advantaging one over other. Many women resist changes that reduce their legal advantages, preferring to blame male character rather than examine systemic issues. Tuesday, help young people understand relationship dynamics from both gender perspectives. Teach importance of mutual benefit and balanced obligations. Some women begin understanding why men avoid commitment when they learn about legal and financial risks involved. Wednesday, notice changes in how male students respond when relationship discussions include acknowledgement of their concerns and perspectives. Men more willing to engage with relationship topics when their legitimate interests are recognized rather than dismissed as immaturity. Thursday, continue research on creating sustainable relationship models that work for both genders in modern context. Find that successful partnerships require updating social contracts to reflect current economic and legal realities while maintaining mutual benefit. Friday, final reflection on why men rather die single than enter modern relationships. They're not afraid of love or commitment. They're afraid of legal and financial destruction through systems designed to favor women at male expense. Until relationships offer men clear benefits that offset clear risks, rational men will continue choosing protective singleness over vulnerable partnership. Maybe that's not male failure. Maybe that's system failure that needs addressing.